Today we're going to review each specific section in Chapter 3. Section 3.1. Looking at this table, does it represent a function and why or why not? Pause the video here. You should have said, no, this doesn't represent a function because as you can see, -1 results in an output of -3, and then -1 also results in an output of -2. Section 3.2. A baseball coach is taking the team for ice cream. 4 students can ride in a car. Write an equation and create a table to show the number of cars needed to transport 8, 10, or 16 students. Remember, start with an equation first that could tell you how many cars would be needed. Pause the video here. The equation should have been y equals x divided by 4. If you have 8 students, 8 divided by 4 tells you need 2 cars. 10 students, this would be a decimal and you can't have a piece of a car, so you would need 3 cars. And 16 students would mean 4 cars. Section 3.3. Be very careful of your signs here. G of n equals -n squared minus 2 when n equals -3. Pause the video here. When you substitute g of -3 equals, remember that this negative here is already here, so that really means -1. Then you substitute in -3 for n squared minus 2. Now it's very important to use order of operations, so -3 squared, because we have to use exponents before any multiplication, is +9. You still have the -1 on the outside, and then you still have to subtract 2. So you end up with -9 minus 2, which is -11. G of -3, when you substitute -3, you get -11 as your final answer. Section 3.4. Graphing y equals the quantity of 1 minus x squared. In order to graph this, remember you would need to make a table first. Pause the video here. I chose values for x. I used -2, 0, 1, and 2. My outputs are shown here. 1 minus -2 is 1 plus 2. 3 squared equals 9. 1 minus 0 is 1. Squared is 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. Squared is 0. And finally, 1 minus 2 is -1. -1 squared is +1. Your graph looks like this. Section 3.5. When we talk about the money a store makes over a certain temperature at the store, what do you see, or outside, what do you see as your correlation? Would it be negative, positive, 0, or no correlation? You should have said that this is a positive correlation. And finally, you have a sequence of numbers that go from 20 to 16 to 12. Firstly, is this an arithmetic sequence? And if it is, can you find the 21st term? Pause the video here. You should have said yes, this is arithmetic, because you can see that you are constantly subtracting by 4. There is a common difference of -4. Now hopefully you remember the formula. A sub 21, the 21st term is A sub 1, first number in the sequence, plus the term you're looking for minus 1 times the common difference. To substitute in, I have A sub 21 equals 20, which is my first number, plus 21, since I'm finding the 21st term, minus 1, times the common difference, negative 4. This leaves me with 20 plus 20 times negative 4, which is negative 80. 20 plus negative 80 is negative 60. A sub 21 is negative 60.